Yeah, it was a very tough result actually. Thought after we got off to a pretty good start with the bat, obviously losing our way a little bit through that middle order again, but it was a very challenging wicket to start on, in particular against the spin. The guys were formulating a plan quite nice, and we just seemed to keep losing wickets at the wrong time. Or obviously no one ever means to get out, but I mean they bowled exceptionally well. But yeah, like you said, a tough loss to take. I think in the end it was probably reasonable generous, giving us mid-40s after 6 overs. Yeah, I think Davey's obviously played a lot and captained a lot over here in the IPL. He knows the opposition very well. He's very calm under pressure majority of the time. To be fair, I've only played under him a handful of times. I think 3 games in Sri Lanka and 1 now. There might have been 1 or 2 here and there, but no, he's a fantastic leader. He's a vice captain of the country for a reason, and I think it can be a totally different job when you're filling in for someone as opposed to when you've got the job yourself. There's obviously a lot more expectation and a lot more scrutiny around Steve as a leader because he does have the job in all 3 formats full time. So I think it can be quite refreshing when another skipper comes in that probably doesn't have to worry about the off-field stuff quite as much as what the regular skipper does. But no, I thought Davey did a fantastic job under the circumstances. Well, we got him to get the colours on and run some drinks out, which probably helped out his OCD tendencies a little bit. I mean, he's a fidgeter, like you said, at the best of times. But it's obviously disappointing not to have him out there. He's one of the best players in the world in all 3 formats. Quality leader, quality captain. So it would have been nice to have his obviously skill out there, but also his game smarts in these conditions. It's easy to look back now and say yes, but I think when you look at history at this ground, history suggests that I think 150 is a par score, or the average score batting first on this surface. So we wanted to make sure we got up around that mark, and we knew that with how competent their bowlers are at the death, Bhuvaneshwar and Boomer in particular, they're 2 of the finest going around at executing at the end. So we felt that we had to probably play a little bit more high risk game through the middle overs to be able to maximise. Unfortunately, we just kept losing wickets, and that's a part of T20. There's not a real lot of time to be assessing the pitch for 10 or 12 balls and then making your decision. It has to be a split second, 2 or 3 balls, and guys coming in for their first hit in these conditions. I think it was just one of those things. Obviously, it would have been nice to get up around 135, 140, but we didn't. Yeah, he's been brilliant around the group. It's obviously always tough when somebody gets dropped. I've been there. I know the feeling too well that particularly when you're on tour, you tend to go insular. But he was exact opposite. He was up and about around the group, doing everything to help anybody perform well on the day. And with the bat, I mean, they can be brutal conditions when things aren't going your way. He's had a couple of unlucky dismissals, batted well in the first game that was a rain-shortened match. Yeah, I mean, he's batting well in the nets. He's doing everything that he can. Sometimes form just eludes you a little bit, but we've seen him be so dominant and so destructive of attacks in these conditions before. So I don't think it's far away. I think just a few game plan tinkers here and there would go a long way to probably just taking the pressure off himself, and he probably feels as though people expect him to strike at 200 like everyone knows that he can and hit 6 after 6. But I mean, batting number 3 is a different responsibility in this format for him. I know he's opened a couple of times, but being predominantly a middle order player, it is a different role and can take a little bit of time to get your head around.